Hi, this is Fate Creator. Welcome to day 5. I have a lot to go over, so I'll try to make it quick. First, let's see, looking at the battle for Kiesling here. Obviously Rhode's sending in more reinforcements, and so rather than just do nothing with the drillers, I decided to go ahead and send them in to hit Kramer, just to kind of be a nuisance. I know I wouldn't be able to hold it. Especially with him sending in more drillers, but it is at least being a minor nuisance, even though it was not something I could hold. I ended up choosing to send these out a little bit early because I was at production capacity, and so knocking them out sooner made me be able to produce drillers in other places quicker. It's kind of like almost like warping these over to another location. So the net result was the same amount of drillers, but they weren't going to be any use to me way over here anyway. Ultimately, I decided, let's back up a bit. Ultimately, I decided that I needed to try and push things a bit. So I was trying to get P Money to attack me because I figured I could handle it. But so far hasn't been successful. So what I tried to do is look more vulnerable, and so I decided to send a few more drillers into Gabler in order to create another mine. And I sent the exact number I would need to make it look pretty obvious what I was doing. As soon as they got there, it's actually day 6, but as soon as they get there, I do create another mine, and I'll go into why in the next video. But I was trying to project a weak point that he could exploit. So one other interesting thing. So I was watching this little interchange here in this area where Rhode is sending out a little party there. When you move forward in the time machine during the game, the green one was going to lose the battle because the other one has a single driller on it, which will best the others because there's 0, resulting in just kind of a loss. And I figured at some point he would turn it to a gift down to Dane, which he does, giving Dane instant control over those specialists, and then they of course target over to Nyja there because that's the closest base. So Dane not really being friendly with him, I decided to send in my own pirate in order to try and steal those. If he doesn't move them, he should he'll end up losing them. However, what I wasn't sure about was if he could see that attack coming or not on his radar. Usually you can see off-screen attacks, but pirates are a little different, so sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I don't know if that's a bug or coding or what, but I know that under current circumstances, Broxo can't see one coming in at his, so I didn't know if he could see it or not. But I was pretty sure that Key was working with him anyway, so Key may alert him. And then you can see that he changes course to Kramer, meaning that I won't be able to get there in time, so I just reverse course back to my own base. It's him having seen through the attack and averting it. Let's see. It becomes pretty obvious in this time frame here that Rhode is pushing in to make another mine. I think he's kind of vulnerable because he needs to populate bases in order to keep them active. But he's got a king, and he can make another king, so he's got a pretty massive force if he wanted to go on the offensive. You just have to be very, very tactical about it. But it looks like he's moving to make another mine. There's no other real reason to move into the center of your territory like that. Key is turtling up. Doesn't want to have conflict with anybody. Seems to have allies everywhere. Doesn't want to attack or fight anyone, even though he could have won battles many times over. He's creating a bigger defensive position. And moving It looks like moving more drillers around, maybe to make another mine with this 106 right here. Feeling safe on this board, which he is. I'm not going to attack him. I never break alliances, so he's safe, but it's going to end up being just a mine race, and he wants to do it all through peace with no attacks at all. So the other thing I want to comment on, the last thing, is you can see that pretty much this whole game I have been delaying my specialist choices. That's because I have a few different tactics and different ways I can go depending on how people act around me. And I've been very reactionary in this game. If I had made initial alliances a little bit better, I think I could have been a bit more aggressive. But having made the alliances I did, I kind of boxed myself in. I didn't realize it at the time. And I hadn't played on a 7-person map before, so I didn't really know what to expect with that gaff, but I'll know better next time. So in the cases where you don't have a reason to make a specialist, I suggest not doing so. There are reasons to grab them when you're not sure what to get, but if you don't need them in action, save them until you have a reason to make a selection. That's all for today. Talk to you on day 6.